Hello, we have made it to the end. This is your final show. This is the final opportunity for you to learn about the UK target border operating model this week. Well, we've made it to the weekend, so good. If you've been watching every episode so far, congratulations, that was so good. I hope in this way you were able to appreciate a little more about this complex 99-page document that we had to go through, we had to read through and figure out what's important and what's not. Anyway, today we're going to venture a little bit beyond that to understand why we are doing all of this. Well, there are lots of reasons we're doing this, but the key strategy has always been, can we create the most effective border in the world? And so to pull it all together, this is what we will focus on today. Hey, I hope you got some value out of watching these webinars, these mini briefs. And this is how we're going to wrap it up. We started on Monday with an introduction, summary, timeline, questions. We then moved into biosecurity, SPS controls. We then looked at safety and security declarations, the UK single trade window, and now the conclusion, the grand finale, the most effective border in the world. And hopefully you were able to join us live on YouTube. But if not, don't worry. All of these videos are available on YouTube, and you click your way through the channel. It would be great if you gave us a like for each video that you watched, that you got value out. And of course, if you want to subscribe to it, just click the button. Would love it. You'd get notified of any of these videos that we do in the future. And there's a lot we still need to talk about. So summing it all together up, bringing it all together, what about this then? 2025 is not far away. It's 2 years away. The UK border strategy has already been unveiled in 2020, wasn't it? 1920. There it is, written right there. December 2020, so a long time ago. So you can't tell me you didn't know all this stuff. You just had to read the document. And it already talks then about the target operating model and about the vision to design and deliver and innovate around the border. And the need to work in partnership, which is another reason why we're doing this consultation, because partnership has always been at the forefront of these development. And it clearly says major transformations are going to take place, and that needs to be delivered within the next 2 years. And that will also then go beyond the target operating model. So therefore, it's a really good read to look into the 2025 UK border strategy. Hey, I don't want to go into every detail of that strategy. You can read that yourself. But if you kind of read through these first 6 steps here, as I'm talking along, you can already see this is about bringing things together using data. They talk a lot about use of upstream compliance to move the process away from the border, which is what we are seeing with the trader schemes, with the SPS controls at destination, with the trust schemes. All of that moves you away from the border, allowing a more seamless experience. And of course, it talks about assuring that the data quality is correct, providing a comprehensive and holistic view of data at the border that is being delivered. It is clearly being delivered. Just look at the way this Tom describes data management. And then they talk about a user-centric government approach. I mean, just look at this document again. You will have user journeys left, right, and center. They're like 8, 10 different user journeys in this entire document. So partnership with industry is essential. And the word innovation is mentioned. So through partnership and through hearing what businesses need, trying new approaches, using data intelligently, moving controls away from the border, and not only thinking about customs, border force, and HMRC, but bring all the agencies together, from DEFRA to cultural to, you name them, Forest Commission or what, bringing them together. That's called holistic and comprehensive, and that is good, right? And then strengthening the resilience of ports, of course, very important, building capacity, and of course, and facilitating trade, end-to-end trade. All of this you can find in the top. Hey, please forgive me that I'm copying out of government documents, but I find this very important. I find it important because not often enough do we recognize how important our border controls actually are? And we don't recognize all the amazing work that these people do at the border that keep us safe every day. And I want to officially recognize this by showing you how the UK border matters and how it is important that we have effective controls that also allow for legitimate trade to enter the UK. So in terms of security, in terms of safety, in terms of money, UK border is essential. And as we talked about user-centric approach, well, the strategy of 2020 called the Border Strategy 2025 has already given us an idea of where this is going. And here is the journey of a trader, Sarah, a medium-sized legitimate trader who wishes to import books from the UK to the UK from an overseas arm of a business. And what do you see highlighted here? Trusted trader program, single window, single place, capacity. All of this that we already know that is in the border operating model has already been published in December 2020. And you can see how here in this example, just by cross-reading it while I'm speaking, you can already see simplification and ease of operation is all over this. Sure, of course. It is not as easy as it's written here. You need to be first a legitimate, approved, trusted trader. You need to have access to the single window, but the vision is there. Yeah. And look, the last words notified on this page without any delays. Pretty good, right? Let's just make it happen. So this is the border strategy. And I've already explained that this is a really important read and the major transformation that it should provide. So I'll recommend it as a read. Please download it online, or I'll include a link to it also down below. And now you see how it all connects. To reach the objective of the UK, and some belittle it as hyper post-Brexit ambition, but this is a serious proposal. And well, before we may have been lacking the imagination and the evidence that this is actually going to happen, it is the border target operating model that now provides a clear steer that this was not just a policy document to be forgotten somewhere, but this is something that will actually going to happen. So we better take notice. The three things that now need to start to matter to you are the Border Strategy 2025, as I've explained, sets up the vision, introduces concept and requirements, the single trade window, the single point of contact, the one-stop shop, the trade facilitation. I've made a video on this yesterday. It is on YouTube. Please watch it. And then the third element that makes it all happen, you've heard me mention this before, is the ecosystem of trust, secure trade lanes, most advanced border possible. So as I've explained, so I've already talked about the strategy, the border strategy. Now the second element of it is the single trade window. It's a new way to control when you bring in import-export goods. There'll be one trade place to apply for all the simplifications, for all the permits, for all the authorization, for safety, to lodge declaration, safety and security declaration, and the trusted trader status as well. You will only submit data once, and that is it. And it is based on a self-serve system, and that's just the future. The last thing we haven't talked about, and I want to focus and end on this, is this ecosystem of trust and the pilots associated. The ecosystem of trust in the forms of the pilots UK has run and continues to explore delivers only the most advanced border model we can conceive of. That's literally quoted from the document. In terms of tech, data, and policy, they come together to result in a near frictionless movement across the border for trusted traders. It's underpinned by technology and data insights, and it can provide the government with assurances about the movement of goods, allowing it then to be hands-off, giving benefits to industry and facilitating trade. It will be evaluated later in May, but it will become part of the future border target operating model. I put here again how the single window would use, and you can already see how data moves across government and how this is a holistic approach. And if you're interested in the whole thing, if you want to know what over the next 2 years the entire border transformation plan looks like, then I have put this out here. It comes from the target border operating model, and you can screenshot it again and read through it if you'd like. But you can see all of these things need to come together in order to deliver. And this, as you can see now, is genuinely a border transformation that will change the way we import, export in the future. Wow, the black screen shows you what? It shows that we've come to the end of a 5-day journey, Monday to Friday, on the border operating model, the target border operating model in the UK, of the UK. I hope this was useful. And there is so much more in this document that we need to explore. So if you want another video, maybe on groupage, maybe on licenses, maybe on different scenarios that you want to have explained, why don't you put the comments in the chat below, or you email us? We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching 1, 2, 3, or 5 episodes. It was great to be with you. Thanks again, and good luck with submitting your views on the border operating model. Don't forget, we're ready to assist as and when you need. You know where to find us. Thank you so much, guys. All the best.